Hello, Kevin. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
How about the heat?
What heat?
It's over 35 degrees. What are you doing to keep cool?
I love extremes. I don't care about the weather. I like it cold. I like it really hot. It's beautiful. I drove this morning. I woke up kind of early and I just drove, saw the road, all the way through the Alps from Lausanne all the way through up to here, and it was just brilliant. It was unbelievable. So it made me so happy. So beautiful.
What is the first impression you got when you arrived here, in the middle of nowhere?
Well, it's the same impression I have. I mean, when we began the tour, we began it in the Black Forest a couple of weeks ago. So it just reminds me of the beauty of Europe, the space of Europe. You get used to just thinking of sometimes of just the cities all the time, and these Alps are just it's like God's country, if you believe in God, nature's country.
So you've been touring since a couple of months, since a couple of weeks already. Yes, I mean for the European tour, and can you still? I mean, there's so many countries, so many cities. Do you still remember which city you were in, or do you have the time to absorb the environment?
I more think about it with the audiences and with the reaction and with the show and the catering.
What do you like then to eat?
Oh, I'm a really good eater. I'm real simple. Just anything cooked with care and compassion and well.
Have you tasted Swiss fondue or raclette yet?
Of course, of course.
And?
I love it. I mean, I wouldn't have the raclette before I eat. I think it's a little heavy, and I think it might be better for the winter, personally. But it's beautiful. I enjoy it. I just stopped at a gas station down the road by a lake, and I didn't want to leave. It was a gas station, so it's a real nice place to be.
Was that near Martigny, you remember?
Yes, that was it.
With windsurfers? Yes. Do you do windsurfing also?
No, but I wanted to try it today. I was prepared to try. I wanted to try it, but everyone was asleep and it's so boring, so I stayed there for a while, and then I bought some beautiful bread that everyone just ate, and they loved it.
While touring, what are you doing the whole day? Isn't it boring to be away from home and not with your stuff?
I work hard at nothing's ever boring, because there's always something to do. There's always something, so boring doesn't exist. But do I miss my family? Of course, But this is, these shows and these nights and these concerts are so special that it would be wrong to think that there's no cost, that they just come for free. They don't come for free. They come after years of work and sacrifice and leaving people that you love. So it's the trade-off, it's the balance.
When you're on tour, don't you have the feeling or the impression that after some concert that you're getting, that the excitement gets lost?
You're very concerned about my boredom threshold. I promise you. No, because that's the whole thing of live, and that's the whole experience. I mean, there are times when I'm super tired, maybe 2 hours before or 1 hour before I go on, and I don't feel like my body's beaten up or something. I just in America did 21 shows in 19 days. So then you start feeling a bit punch drunk, you can't tell up from down, day from night, Monday from Friday. It makes no difference. But then when you go on the stage and you see the energy of the people and they hear the crowd and you play and you sing, it just changes everything.
Is that also the secret of your youth? Because you haven't changed since.
I don't know. I really am so lucky to get to do what I love. It's my passion, and therefore I feel like the luckiest guy in the world, because if you can do what you love and they call it work, then you're swimming in the river.
Let's talk about the reunion of Bush after almost 10 years. What was the catalyst? I have to talk, so I can't. What was the catalyst? Who decided, or how did it go?
I decided I had enough. I tried to make it after I did the Institute record after Bush in 2003, and I was trying to be creative and interesting, like Maynard with Perfect Circle and Tool, the side project that's just as brilliant, and I try to do something brilliant, and I think sorry to say, I think I'm really proud of that record, but it was sort of, it's kind of like my secret record. It's, people don't really know the Institute existed, that many, just like, but then after that I tried to do the Bush right after that, and for 3 months I was going to do it, and then the guitar player said, listen, I just can't leave home, I can't take the heat, and I can't take the travel. He didn't want to windsurf or anything, he wanted to stay home. So I respect that, and I found, and I just continued working with Chris and Corey, who I work with on my solo. And the mistake that I've made, I mean, I've made 5,017 mistakes in my life, but one of them is not doing Bush, this lineup, instead of the solo, because I had a huge, worldwide, massive monster hit with Love Remains the Same on my solo record, and if I just put a bit more guitars on it, it could have been a Bush hit, and I just continued the Bush thing. But life is, if we could all plan life retrospectively, we'd all be better off. But I'm fine where I am. I'm really happy.
And what was it after almost 10 years, like to find the mates or the buddies, and what is it? All the expectations are fulfilled.
Yeah, very much like, it was just the only person I hadn't played with for a long time was Robin, the drummer, and what was bizarre was for it to be so natural. When I walked into the rehearsal room, they'd already been rehearsing a few days. That's my trick. I say get rehearsals from Monday, and I come in on a Friday, and I came in mid-song. And I never even looked at him. I just turned around and started singing and playing. And then we played, and then after a while, then I turned around and asked him how he was doing. But it began with music, so it was supernatural.
So that's your language, the music is your language?
Yeah, he talks a lot and I listen a lot. That's our language.
Your new album, Sea of Memories, came out last year. It's quite different from the other Bush albums from the years of '90. Did you change also the style because you wanted to get rid of the image that you were just copying the grunge bands like Nirvana, or Pixies, or Pearl Jam?
I never got accused of copying Pearl Jam. You have to withdraw that one.
That is a compliment, also.
Yeah.
Or to be compared.
Sure. And I have respect for all those bands, especially the Pixies and Nirvana and Pearl Jam. Yeah, the thing is that I think that, first off, it began in that time. We were very annoying to a lot of people because we sort of came out of nowhere, and we kind of took all their bread. We took all their sandwiches, and they didn't understand how that happened. So that's sometimes the consequence of being like bizarrely successful, is that people get really mad at you. So I think there was elements, of course, of those bands, especially the Pixies, and especially with some of the kind of the spirit of Nirvana, for sure. So inspired by them. I mean, music is a legacy. Everybody. It's a legacy. It's like art. You look through the history of music, history of art. It's the same. But yeah, I don't think it was ever so crazy. I mean, you think of a song like "Come Down" off of my first record, or "Swim," which is in 12/8 time. I'm not sure you can attribute that to either the Pixies or Nirvana. They don't have that thing. So I thought it was a bit it was just a bit unfair, because we get reduced. A band is 3 sentences. It's not your whole life. But that's a really long answer I'm giving you. I made an effort with this record, with A Sea of Memories, so that if people that liked Bush before, they wouldn't feel alienated. But if they hear the record and they never heard Bush, they enjoy that record. So I had to find that balance, And so if my long answer means that we got that, then I'm happy. Sorry about the long answer. God, I was going on there.
You talked about people. Shall I take the other side? No, no. You talked about the people listening to your music. Has the audience changed? Do you see that the audience became younger? Or?
Yeah, it's such an incredible situation, because if you're lucky enough to find a career in music where you really stay a long time, like 10 years, 12 years, 20 years, whatever. If you don't go multi-generational, you stop. And so the proudest thing for me is either seeing someone who says, and it happens to me every single day we play, somebody goes, oh my God, you know, my brother loved you when I was growing up, and I never thought, you know, I was 5, I never thought I'd ever get the chance to see you, and they're so happy. Or you get someone who says, you know, I loved your band so much, I never thought I'd have a chance to see you live. And then also you get someone who goes, never heard of anything, and just goes, yeah, I love your band. I mean, we played last night in St. Pölten in Austria, and the signing, it was so young. I was like really, really happy, because it just means that it's just music. I mean, music it just exists, and people attach to it or they don't, you know. And so to have the multi-generational thing is an incredible honor.
You'll see that tonight the audience will be quite young also. About young generation, when I Google Bush, the first pictures that come is George W. Bush. Doesn't this maybe give you the idea of changing the name of the band after the reunion? Because it's a little bit disappointing to see all the pictures of George.
Such a nonsensical question. The reason why I did Bush is because it's such a huge, in my lane of small rock music, the small lane we're in, it's massive. So it would be a bad idea. I tried it. It was called Institute. Remember? No one heard of it.
I didn't actually. But there's a bit.
Kind of answers your own question.
Have you had the time to go around a little bit already?
The festival?
Here.
No, I literally just got here. Right in. You're the number one priority of my day. Once I've finished in here, I'm free as a bird to fly across all the fields.
So that's what you will do afterwards, before your concert?
No, I'll sit on my bus and play guitar probably. No, I'll go and see whoever's playing before us if I like the bands. When's Mark Lanegan playing?
18.
6 o'clock, yeah. That's where I'll be watching him.
Do you have the opportunity, like Cypress Hill is playing today, Mark Lanegan, do you have the opportunity to make friends when you're on tour, or is it just hi again, you know each other a little bit, or do you really can you really make friends?
Well, in those two cases, with Cypress Hill and with Mark Lanegan, like I know them way better than anybody else. So, you know, I also know, you know, the Placebo guys because we toured with them so much. But and also Josh from Eagles of Death Metal. I'm saying it because of the list behind you. And then the rest of them I don't know, but I'm easygoing. I'll say hello to anyone, you know.
Thank you very much. So I wish you a nice concert tonight. I'm happy to see you afterwards on stage, and I wish you a nice day under the Walliser Sonne. Do you happen to speak some German?
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Nothing? Something to say to the audience, maybe in German? Nothing.
Ich liebe dich.
Thank you very much. Gavin Rossdale, thank you. Das war Gampel TV mit dem Gavin Rossdale von Bush, der nachher gerade auf der grossen Bühne war.